T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchin with Lisa. How's everybody doing? We're getting situated in the room. I wanted to welcome you all to Lunchin with Lisa. This is actually officially my second month with Lunchin with Lisa. I started August 6th, I believe. So I'm excited to have you all on because I have missed Mama's Girls. So I'm excited to introduce you all. I'm gonna start off first. What I usually do at the beginning of Lunchin with Lisa is have a just because moment, because I'm a just because kind of girl. So I like to just genuinely shout somebody out randomly. So because I am actually honoring Alzheimer's Awareness Month, because September is for Alzheimer's Awareness, there's a young lady by the name of Sabrina Dixon who actually just launched a fashion line, and it's workout clothes, t-shirts, and things like that. But it's actually called Precious Love on Facebook and Precious Love, the brand, on IG. So I wanted to encourage everybody to go out there, like her page, check out her products. She just launched this fashion brand, and it's in honor of her grandmother who had Alzheimer's, and that touched me because my grandmother also had Alzheimer's. So I wanted to do that in celebration of this month. And honoring that awareness. And so that was my just because. I will have a little just because at the end, because that's when we have a little luncheon with Lisa moment, and we get to genuinely talk about something that you think people are lunching about. And considering COVID and all of that, it's a whole lot of people lunching out there this season. So without further ado, I want to introduce my guests. So I'm going to do introductions first, and then we're just going to get to talking about what's going on. So first, I want to introduce G. Davis Productions, which is G. Davis Productions and Films is an urban theater film company that has been touring stage plays since 1994. G. Davis Productions started off as Rima Theater Group Ministries in Rayford, North Carolina, when G. Davis penned his first stage production entitled Lord, Why Me? After his first national tour and the success of If Loving You Is Wrong, that featured Freddie Jackson, the name was changed to G. Davis Productions, and the slogan was established, bringing real life situations to the stage. And now, 26 years later, and over 20 productions written, directed, and produced by Garrett Davis, G. Davis Productions is one of the leading theater companies in the country, nationally touring multiple productions for 5 consecutive years and counting with Mama's Girls, Daddy's Boys, Sisters at Heart, Clearly Invisible, and Forget Me Not. So the relationship with G. Davis Productions was established over the years with the National Alzheimer's Association, U.S. Against Alzheimer's, Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center, the Maya Angelou Center on Health Equity, the American Diabetes Association, the Prostate Health Education Network, and AARP has created a unique partnership that focuses on raising the awareness about various diseases and caregiving through award-winning products and theatrical productions. I also wanted to introduce some of the cast members of Mama's Girls. So we do have with us Kenya Daniels, the COO of G Davis Production, who plays Brianna. We have Latanya Sims, who plays Paulette. We have Chanel Young, who plays Kiki. And she also starred in All Eyes on Me, the Tupac biopic. And we have Samantha McSwain, who plays Ruthie Mae. And we have Dion Jones, who plays Baby Girl's boyfriend. So I wanted to give you a little background on Mama's Girls before we get to talking to the cast and Garrett. And Mama's Girls is actually one of the longest running urban theater stage plays in the country. First sponsored nationally by AARP and then by American Diabetes Association. Regina Bell has actually toured with the cast as well. And they're currently working on presenting new storylines for Mama's Girls that deal with caregiving during the pandemic. So I want to welcome all of you all to Luncheon with Lisa. How are you all doing during this pandemic besides working?
Hanging in there, being positive.
That's right. That's right. So what's going on? I wanted to have you on just because I remembered when I saw a post come out that said Mama's Girl, I wasn't sure if it was 2 or Mama's Girl was returning. I got all excited because I was like, okay, where do I buy my ticket? I'm ready to go. So I am excited. I enjoyed Mama's Girls when you all were here in DC at Howard University, I believe, and performed. And quite a few of my friends also came too. And we enjoyed the play. I haven't forgotten it. I want to see it again. So I said I have to have them come on and share with us what's going on and then what to expect, because I was reading up a little bit and said you all had some things coming up and going to film or something. So I want y'all to tell me all the good stuff going on. So Garrett, I think he's trying to be shy. So you come off mute a little bit and tell us what's going on with everybody. I think he might be frozen.
That I've toured. Can you hear me?
There you are.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mama's Girls is my most successful play to date. And Mama's Girls has been, it ran for seven consecutive years. As you were stating, we started off with AARP, and then we went to the American Diabetes Association. And after a kind of a year layoff, we was trying to kind of, we didn't want Mama's Girls to kind of go away without saying goodbye. And so before the pandemic hit, we were looking at coming back with the farewell tour of Mama's Girls. And that was going to be, pre-pandemic, we were going to do the final year of touring with Mama's Girls. Then we was going to focus on trying to do, trying to get Mama's Girls in a sitcom and do episode form. Well, when the pandemic hit, that, so much for, touring the farewell tour with Mama's Girls. And talking with AARP, we decided to, let's release, some new versions of Mama's Girl in episode form. That allowed us to kind of transition into a television market. And so what we're working on with Mama's Girls now is presenting 4 new episodes of Mama's Girls that deal with taking care of a loved one during a pandemic. And so, those of you that have been following Mama's Girls, we always heard about Mama. You never saw Mama. There was a lot of reference to Mama. But we have cast Ann Nesby, Grammy Award-winning Ann Nesby, to play the mother in Mama's Girls. So we're really looking forward to how that all is going to play out. So we're excited about the filming. I think we start filming in October.
Okay.
And we're hoping to release on these 4 new episodes in November. Just in time for the holiday, around Thanksgiving. But they're going to be funny as heck. I'm already trying to save my money because I know we're going to go overtime laughing at Paulette and the rest of those guys in the studio.
Correct.
So it's for those that supported Mama's Girls over the years, I mean it's definitely a show that's people have been talking about for years, and to bring those girls back and to put them in on film now, I think it's going to be special. So we're looking forward to that.
Yes, I mean, you brought up Paulette's character because I just remember laughing my butt off. I was explaining some of the characters to my girlfriend Shariva, and I said Paulette is hilarious. I don't even know how else to explain. Yeah. I just laughed. Even when she wasn't saying anything, I was laughing. So tell us a little bit, Latoya, about your role as Paulette, because I mean, yes, I'm still laughing.
Well, I absolutely have a ball playing Paulette, and Garrett loves writing for Paulette because he can hear Paulette's voice and how stupid she would sound with some things to say, and so he writes, I bring it to life, and we add and we do stuff together, and we laugh, and we're just so spontaneous together. You don't know what's gonna happen on stage, especially with Samantha. And
correct.
And when Garrett was in Mama's Girls 1 as Uncle Paul, you just never knew what was gonna happen on stage. And so it was hard. It's hard staying in character, but some of us, my sister Bree, will just laugh anyway. But I just love it. I love it.
So I wanted to ask, because Paulette is so hilarious in the play. So when you all are doing the play and it's live, so how hard is it to not laugh and to stay on script? Because I would never make it. It would be over with.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, there's no such thing as a script. They have a script in the beginning. And then Latanya has a way of writing her own parts in that I did write, and I get credit for. They're like, Eric, man, that was some good writing. I'm like, yeah, it was, wasn't it? I didn't write that. And I guess because of the chemistry with the girls, they've been together for so long. What they try to do now is they challenge each other to try to make somebody break character, which gets to be fun. It's like, I'm gonna get Latanya tonight, I'm gonna get Brie tonight, and so that just creates so much magic on stage.
I could imagine, because I would just be done. So can you tell us a little bit about, because I don't think Dion was Dion in the first one. Dion wasn't the boyfriend.
No.
So tell us a little bit about
Dion didn't cut.
And then Dion is baby girl's boyfriend. So how did all of that come about?
Is it me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I remember
Dion.
you. I'm trying to think if you had just joined the cast at that time. I can't remember.
You're talking to Dion.
Dion was not in Mama's Girls 1. Dion came in Mama's Girls 2.
Right.
Okay, but Kenny was in 1. So Dion, right?
Yes, I was in Mama's Girls 1.
Kenny was in 1. Yes.
I was Bree. I'm the lawyer. I keep everybody together.
Whatever.
Right.
So I try to be that serious character, but like they say, I am the one that will burst out laughing in a minute.
In the middle,
they are so funny, and the chemistry that we do have on stage, the chemistry we have on stage is the chemistry we have off stage. It stays the same, and we just love and laugh at each other all the time.
We do.
And we never know what Paulette or what Ruthie may do, but it's going to be something, and it's going to come at you, and it's going to hit you, and you don't expect it, and you just get caught up laughing. I mean, and I'm the one that can't hold it. I pretty much let it go.
Well, I would probably be the one in the audience that burst out laughing, and well past the scene, I would still be laughing, because I remember Ruthie made just small comments she would make, and I would just be laughing for a whole 10 minutes. And I know people around me were like, okay, that part is over. Let's cut it out.
Yeah.
So while we're I'll give Samantha a chance, because I know she's having some technical difficulties, but Dion, so how did your role come about?
So thank you, Miss Lisa. So my role came about in Mama's Girls 2. The shifting of focus turned to diabetes and things of that nature. And so they wrote in a part for baby girl or Sonia to have a boyfriend that turns into a fiance, and he hasn't gotten married yet because Mama's Girls, they a challenge to say the least. But I just want to say, just coming on with Mr. G and GDP and everything. The women, they accepted me and they brought me in and they brought me up. They pushed me, they challenged me. You know, it really has we have a family environment, and they are like my sisters and everything like that. And yeah, it's just been a great mix and a coming together. I'm very thankful to be a part of Mama's Girls. It was, I knew about it before they knew about me. You know, I'm looking at their original tour date when they was at Howard on July 1st. And I know the same thing you felt then. It's like that times 10 now, Lisa. They crazier than ever now.
I love it. I think we have is Samantha. Can you hear us? I'm not sure she can hear us because I wanted Ruthie Mae to talk too.
She's having some difficulty.
Yeah, she's having some difficulty. She might, I think she has her earphones.
She always has difficulties. This ain't don't take. She always got difficulties. We can't even rehearse lines because she can't get on the phone. So this is nothing new to her.
Right. We're like on Zoom and we're rehearsing on Zoom, and Ruthie is the one that can never get on. Can never get on.
So everything's all good then. That's what y'all trying to tell me. It's all good. All good. Okay, but Garrett, tell me a little bit about why we're giving her some time. Tell me a little bit about why you decided to make this about, you know, family issues and things. Because I think that's why I love the play so much, because they deal with issues that we all, you know, have to deal with at some point or another.
Well, honestly, I mean, I don't even know if I've ever told the girls where the idea for Mama Girls came from. I mean, I originally, you know, I was reared by my grandmother, and my grandmother had five daughters and one son. And so originally I was going to write this play around my 5 aunts and my uncle. And when I was talking with AARP about trying me,
I think we lost them.
Something that was generic, then, you know, maybe we could talk. And so I said, well, I'll have 5 sisters from 5 different cities trying to figure out how to take care of their mother. And so the original idea for Mama's Girls really came from my 5 aunts and my uncle. And but it ended up going a totally different direction when I wrote Mama's Girls. And the reason that we never have a disease with Mama is because I had to do it like that so I could get funded. And so, you know, that's one of those behind the story secrets. You know, well, what's wrong with Mama? Well, you know, she's aging. And so it became about how do these young ladies take care of their mother? And so in the real world, you can have 5 sisters. Mama can take care of 5 girls, but 5 girls can't take care of one. And that's so realistic in today's society that, you know, we're so busy doing things that, you know, we don't take care. So that's where the idea for Mama's Girls came from, believe it or not.
Did you ladies know that?
I did, of course, but I don't think the other girls knew.
I did not.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because that's true. I didn't think about that. But so, because 5 sisters doing it their way with one person can be a little difficult. So let me ask the ladies, what drew you to to be a part of Mama's Girls? What did you like about it? Besides that it's informational, it's hilarious, and you all just seem to, it seems like you have known each other all your lives. So it just seems so organic and natural. So what drew you to the script or not script, as Garrett said? What drew you to want to work on this project?
All of us have worked with Garrett in other productions. So I guess when he was creating Mama's Girl, he pretty much put in mind who he wanted to be a part of the casting. And so I think one day we met Baby Girl. We met her on the set of Forget Me Not. And so she just to, you know, be a part, but we didn't know that she was singing with Donna Lawrence and Tri-City. So that's what brought her on with us. And then I think he had done another production with some other ones, and they just came right on in, and we just had that bond ever since the beginning. It's just been I mean, it's been awesome. We love what Garrett does and what he writes. And so we're just, oh my gosh. Huh.
I can't wait. I think when I first met Garrett, it was at the play down in North Carolina. And we met there because I think I brought my photographer down and his wife came and my husband came down and we went to that event. But when you came up, when the Mama's Girl came out, I was like, okay, I just have to be there. I hadn't even seen anything about it, but it just seemed like it was just being in your own living room at your grandmother's house or something. I don't have 5 sisters, but I have one. So I can imagine with just one, it can be different because we're like night and day. So I could imagine with 5 sisters. And when I met the cast, I think after the show or something, you all were just so nice and open. And it almost seemed like you were the people on the stage. So let me ask LaTanya, are you Paulette? Like outside of Mama's Girls?
Yes.
No. Well, no, actually, there are some parts of Paulette that are me. Like, Paulette's very sensitive and soft-spoken. That's Paulette. That's LaTanya. But the airheadedness, not so much.
I love the voice. I just get caught up in the voice.
Oh, and the voice is me, but Paulette's just a little bit higher.
Right. Yes, so was it hard to do that on stage like all the time?
No,
No.
it's not. I love the character and I get lost in them.
Yes, but look, it seems, I swear, it looks like I'm just sitting up in front of the living room with some of my cousins and they just going through the motions. I am looking forward to Mama's Girls, but tell us a little bit more about, I want Garrett to touch on Forget Me Not. Just share a little bit about what that play is about.
So Forgive Me Not, I was raised by my grandmother, the oldest of 20 plus grandchildren.
Wow.
The first one to go to college. The first one is, still grandmama's heart. And I went home from spring break one day and grandmama didn't know who I was and her name was Goodness. And I didn't go back. I didn't go back into the funeral. And it was years later that my sisters and my aunts and my mom would tell me that, Goodness would ask about you. And so for therapy, I just decided to write a play called Forget Me Not. It wasn't about Goodness. It wasn't about me. I just kind of wanted to write about Alzheimer's. That led to her mother at the time was going through Alzheimer's, and we lost her mother while we were touring the country, raising the awareness of Alzheimer's. And so we began to see how this disease affects African Americans, twice as likely as it does any other ethnic group. And I kind of wanted to kind of use Forget Me Not as a tool to raise awareness and let African Americans know where to go get help, and things of that nature. So Forget Me Not is probably the most special play to me because it's dear to my heart because it's the foundation. If there was no Forget Me Not, there wouldn't be a Mama's Girls. If there was no Forget Me Not, there wouldn't be a Daddy's Boys. So Forget Me Not is definitely the foundation to everything that birthed, from Forget Me Not. Yeah. LaTanya, believe it or not, Miss Paulette plays my wife. She plays an old woman in that. Does a good job with that. And she rewrote that one too. She wrote her parts in that one that I didn't write. So I thank her for that as well. LaTanya has a way of writing her parts in and writing her songs in without ever asking. She just does it. And I guess since it works, I can't say anything. But so I guess one day it's going to be G. Davis Productions in association with LaTanya. So, but
it does work. It works.
Thank you, Lisa.
It does. Well, and Alzheimer's was I haven't talked about it a lot but we lost my grandmother years ago, but she had Alzheimer's and we were one of those families that actually decided to merge our families because my mom had to retire on spot when we figured out what was going on. And I didn't know anything about Alzheimer's, but she retired, on a dime from the government. And I actually moved out of my apartment with my kids and we all got in a house together because what I did find out was that sometimes the caregiver can get sick from taking care of, someone with Alzheimer's because it's stressful and it's a lot of work. So my intuition was, okay, so I need to be there for my mom since she's being there for her mom. So we just found a 5-bedroom apartment and tried to make it work because that was interesting. But I learned a lot about Alzheimer's in doing that. But I remember I have wonderful memories of my grandmother because one of the things I noticed was her personality was so different. Before Alzheimer's, she was just kind of quiet and, she was 5'2" and didn't say much. But after she had Alzheimer's, she was one to be reckoned with. She had a lot going on with her. And I remember her being very sassy, afterwards. But we had some wonderful memories of her. So that was a trying time for all of us. But it was also a time to learn about what Alzheimer's does to you. And one of my favorite movies actually is The Notebook, which deals with that. And I really do love that movie. Okay. From the moment, every time I watch that movie, I cry at the end. And my husband's like, you already know what's going to happen. I don't understand. What are you doing? But I mean, I just hope the whole theme of the movie is wonderful. So, it meant a lot to me. And I remembered your Forget Me Not play. And then all the other issues with diabetes, your plays deal with diabetes. So what other family issues? I'm interested to see what happens with the pandemic issues. That's going to be very interesting. I think he's frozen again. Can you hear me, Garrett?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I already know.
Mm-hmm.
With the pandemic?
Yeah, dealing with some of the COVID issues with Mama's Girls. So
yeah, I could only imagine from being in my house with my husband and my college age son and feeling like they're trying to kill me in here. I could only imagine, like all of the subject matter you could have, dealing with the pandemic. So what were some funny things that, well, I guess you can't tell me, but even okay, so let me do this. So personally, how have you gotten through this pandemic and actually with filming or whatever you all are doing to get together? How has that been?
We do some rehearsals we do on Zoom, and then the other ones are on conference call.
Okay.
So that's how we pretty much get together and rehearse. So we're able to connect that way as well. So when we come together, that chemistry is already there.
Okay.
The pandemic has been strangely a blessing in disguise. And I first want to say, my heart goes out to any family that has lost a loved one due to this COVID-19 pandemic. And whether you lost a job, you lost a business, you lost a loved one, you lost money, the stress. I mean, there's a lot that's going on with that. But, for us, we would never have gone into film this early had not been for the pandemic. The last time that we were on the road was November 2019. If we were about to approach November 2020, it would have been a year since I've had a live production. But that, the first month, Lisa, it was like, okay, I needed a break. The second month, it was like, okay, this is cool. The third month was like, I ain't made no money. And then it's like, I got to find something to do.
Right.
But, having to adjust from theater to film, I've always wanted to get into film. And now, the pandemic has allowed me, in working with our sponsors to kind of keep our projects alive. We've had to kind of live stream our project, which is open up the door for film. So, on that part, it's been well, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I really miss being on the road. I really miss being out there listening to people. I mean, you don't miss your water until your well runs dry. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, film is good. Don't get me wrong. I think even after the pandemic is lifted and we're back on the road, I think, we'll have two streams going with film and theater, but I really miss being out there with the people. I really do.
Yeah, I can tell because I mean, watching you all on stage, I actually like the fact that I was sitting that close to you, that it wasn't necessarily on the TV. it was in person. Because I mean, you can feel the energy better with, you know, when you're on stage. And I just can't get over the fact that, I mean, when I watched the play and Paulette was hilarious, like, even when I wasn't trying to laugh anymore, I was just thinking about the last thing she said, you know, and the way the sisters interacted was like real sister stuff, you know, like this is how sisters get along, and they were rolling their eyes at each other, and it didn't even seem like it was part of the line. It would feel like you were really rolling your eyes. So what do you all what else is going on with you all? You're working on Mama's Girls returning, but you have some other plays too that you have I hadn't heard about. Is it Daddy what is the one with the guys? Daddy's
Boys. Yeah. So honestly, after traveling with Mama's Girls for 7 consecutive years, I really wanted to be around some men. You have no idea how bad I wanted to be around some men. And I wrote the play, you know, 3 years before we did it, just looking for men, you know, just looking for men. Because I mean, Mama's Girls, you know, is probably the key to you know to our foundation of what we have now. But you know, Mama's Girls birthed Daddy's Boys, and Daddy's Boys deals with prostate cancer. It's like you wanted to have I wanted, you know, to stretch myself. How do I have a male version of Mama's Girls? And so we have Daddy's Boys. And so with Mama's Girls dealing with caregiving and diabetes and COVID-19, and Daddy's Boys dealing with prostate cancer. And then we have Clearly Invisible. Clearly Invisible is a military piece, a salute to the military, dealing with fraud and all the things that military personnel go through. Sisters at Heart is based off of a true story from identical twins, Kimberly Ketter and Sean Rivers in Petersburg, Virginia, who at 40 discovered they had congestive heart failure. And now at 51, they're living a healthy life.
Wow.
And so we
I think we're losing connection a little bit. Can you hear us?
Project called Through the Fire as a tone. Losing connection?
Yeah.
You got me?
You're breaking up.
Yeah, we got you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, the Tonya Kane story. Tonya Kane is in Maryland, incarcerated 60 plus times, unfortunately raped and beaten, but today a successful person in terms of traveling the country and an expert on trauma. And so we're about to release in the first quarter of 2021 her story called Through the Fire, the Tonya Kane story. This whole social justice thing that we're going through in the country, you know, made me challenge myself as a man in terms of how do I use the platform that I have to draw people together. And so I'm working on a piece for, you know, hopefully by February in time for Black History Month called Just Us. You know, it might sound like justice, but when you look into the judicial system and you look at what's happening, it's just us. And then hopefully by the end of 2021, if we are somewhat back to normal, you know, I want to do something crazy that's going to probably, you know, take a few years off of my life, is try to combine Daddy's Boys and Mama's Girls.
That's what I was going to ask, actually.
Yeah. I probably want to combine that production, but it's probably going to take a couple of years off of my life. But, you know, I'll die with a smile on my face.
That was actually one of my questions I was going to say. Had you thought about combining them? Because I think that would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
That would be great. So we did have a question. Somebody was asking, after COVID, will you all be in Charlotte, North Carolina area?
Yeah, I know we were, I mean, before the pandemic with Daddy's Boys, we were scheduled to do Charlotte. And I'm sure during the reunion, I mean, the farewell tour with Mama's Girls, Charlotte was on the list. So once this pandemic is over, I mean, Charlotte's always a place that we tour with our productions. We have a great relationship with Radio 1 of Charlotte. So yeah, we definitely will be coming to Charlotte once. I think we always go to Peace Auditorium, which is on the campus of University of UNC Charlotte. I can't remember one of those, but yeah, we'll be coming to Charlotte for sure.
So what other areas I'm throwing out, Maryland, DC, wherever there. What other areas are you going to visit? And I just threw one in there. So
Well, I mean, in terms of DC is always an area that we take all of our productions to at some point. And it's hard to say now, Lisa, really, because
right.
of, with the pandemic and not knowing what cities, it's hard to say, but all those places that, up and down the East Coast that we've always gone to, to the Virginias, the DCs, pretty much all the East Coast, all the Midwest, and then sometimes in LA. So, I mean, we're pretty much all over. Once this pandemic gets lifted, hopefully we'll get that schedule back up again as soon as we can.
Okay, so when Mama's Girls is returning, do you know when? Do we know yet, or you all are just still working out some of that?
So in November, the episodes that we're shooting in October, we're pushing them to be ready for the Thanksgiving holidays.
Okay.
So those new episodes will be ready for viewing. And we're working on an all new Mama's Girls website. The episodes will be shown on AARP official website, and we are in the process of pitching, trying to get a deal, to get some type of sitcom deal with whether it's Hulu, Netflix, or to offer the seasons that we're shooting of Mama's Girls so they can be made public worldwide.
Right. That sounds wonderful. So for the holidays, we can get our popcorn ready, right?
Yeah. And get ready to watch Paulette.
So Paulette, do you have any other things going on besides, filming with Mama's Girls and thing? Do you have anything else that's going on with you?
Just some local things. We're being creative, and how some churches are having outside services, and you're in your car. Well, we're gonna have that kind of play that I'm in later this month.
Okay.
And so that's gonna be interesting. But that's about it. Just trying to stay positive and do a little writing myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
You're located in North Carolina?
I am in North Carolina.
Okay.
Salem.
Absolutely. So I'm so looking forward to this. So Kenya, what do you have going on besides with Mama's Girls? What else do you have going on?
I have nothing. I can't do anything else. I am so tied up with G Davis Productions that it takes a lot. But so I'm not doing anything else but just being a part of everything else he has going on. They just finished filming Daddy's Boys, and that was really good. I enjoyed that. And then they're going to film again next week with Daddy's Boys again. So it's just been something all the time. And Garrett is always being busy, so I stay by him. And so
yeah, because you wear several hats, so I guess you probably stay busy, right?
So Lisa, can I ask LaTanya a question?
Absolutely.
So LaTanya, if you're writing a piece, can I be in and write my own lines?
Of course. You can. You know what? I actually hear your voice as a character already, so it's gonna be easy to write for you.
Okay. I
got something going on right here.
I just want to write my own
No,
lines.
I'm gonna write them first, and then you take it and do, bring it to life.
Yeah, just do like you do.
Yeah.
they are funny. I wish Samantha could really be a part of this.
I know.
Samantha is the reason why I laugh, because she does stuff and she looks at me on stage for me to laugh. And I just really wish she was on here.
Now, in the episodes that we're shooting,
facial expressions that really catch me. Like I would always see her facial expressions. It was what LaTanya would say. Paulette would say it, but Ruthie Mae, it was just her face. She didn't even have to say anything. A lot of times it was just a look, and you just saw it all over the theater and bust out laughing.
Now, in episode form, we get to do backstories on the characters because we have more time. And so, in theater, you saw LaTanya Paulette wearing that racing suit. So
Yes.
you're going to see LaTanya working at a car garage. I mean, you're going to actually see her up under cars and working on cars and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And Ruthie Mae is a jackleg preacher. In the play, she always had a sermon for everything. But, in these episodes, you get to see her in a church, preaching and, just making up. It's just going to be hilarious. I just can't wait.
So we're going to get the background on each character once this goes. Oh, now that would be really. So I didn't. So with Paulette in the play, did you work in a garage?
No, she dated everybody. All of her boyfriends sounded like a car. James Ford. Her kids are named Lexus, Hyundai.
That's right.
Mercedes.
Lincoln and Cadillac.
That's right. That's right. I'm thinking this really, but the outfit was really cute though.
Fascinated. So she's fascinated with cars.
Are you really?
Yeah.
In real life?
Yeah, I actually want to drive a NASCAR.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Okay.
I'm not gonna be there though, because I'm scared to death. I just
or either I can ride on the other side and let Bubba drive.
Right. So wait a minute. So Kenya, what is her background story?
Kenya, what is my background story?
You're an attorney, nut.
Oh, she said Kenya.
Oh,
I
Kenya,
think she was talking about Bree.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
Bree's
background story is she is.
Oh, we're losing connection again.
So
Yeah, she's an attorney.
lawyer, and she just tries to keep the family together. I came home that, yeah, she's the one that tries to keep the family together. I'm the serious one. I'm the lawyer. I moved back to try to help take care of mama, and that's not what I did. I ended up being busy in my law firm. So that's what happened with me. So I'm pretty much.
Paulette gave me a look.
She said she the serious.
Yeah, that's what I thought that look was for.
I have to call that in check, because y'all gonna see some things in this one that y'all are going to fall out, and I'm gonna be looking at Paulette like she is crazy because of what Garrett has written. Y'all are going to try to keep it together. I'm gonna try to keep it together.
So I got a good question. Who is the oldest and who's the youngest?
Ruthie Mae's the oldest, and baby girl is the youngest.
Oh, baby girl is the young. Okay.
Yeah.
So, because they say it's always the middle. It's always the middle sister.
Right. Paulette's next to the oldest, but Paulette elevated is not. It's not worth it at times. So we just try to keep her. We just try.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, see, it's like last night. Last night we was having rehearsal.
Okay.
Last night we was having rehearsal, and we could not even stop laughing at her part because she was just hilarious. She was laughing herself.
I was.
It's just when she talks.
Yeah, it's her tone. It's her tone. And then it's Ruthie Mae's face, like you say. It's her face. Yeah.
Her face is everything.
Yeah.
Even when she was trying to get her computer together while we were trying to get on the live, I was reading her face.
She is hilarious. She really is. She really is hilarious.
And off stage too. Oh my
I don't see how y'all get anything done because I would not be able to stop laughing. You know how when you were a kid, I remember going to see some movie. I can't remember what it was, but there was a part that was just so crazy that we started laughing. My husband and I we dropped my son off or something and we were laughing, and it was 10 minutes later and it was over with, but we just could not stop thinking about that moment. Like it almost hurt because I was like, we got to stop this. We got to stop this. The movie has gone on. They're 30 minutes into this movie and we're still laughing about the first minute.
Yeah, because we don't
that's
know
how I
what,
am at the movie.
yeah. And I mean,
That's
we
how
just
I
don't know what may turn up on stage. We've had difficulties with certain things when Paulette's foot got caught on the couch and she fell straight on stage. And everybody thought it was a part of the play, but it wasn't. But we were laughing. We had a point where Samantha's ponytail has come off before on stage.
Oh
And
my.
yes, and so we're just sitting there laughing at each other. I mean, having a good time.
And what about one time when Garrett came out in Samantha's boots?
Yes. And see,
you could
Garrett
tell
is
his
wrong
feet hurt.
because he will break you. Garrett will break you. That's his thing. He comes
Yeah.
on stage seeing who he can break.
Yep.
To
So y'all
burst
can
out
win.
laughing.
You just can't win because somebody's gonna break. But you all
Somebody,
have,
it's me. It's
but
me.
it's you. But
It's me.
Paulette's even laughing at herself, so he already knows. So tell me, what other kind of bloopers have happened on stage where you all had to just kind of go with the flow? Because that tells you how talented you are. Because people don't even know; they think it's part of the show.
Well, the ponytail thing got us. I mean, that was really hilarious because she was sitting on the couch
And she didn't know.
and she got up and the ponytail fell out and Paulette picks it up and she goes, Ruthie Mae, you lost your ponytail. And I couldn't even sing. I was
my
done.
God.
I couldn't even sing. It took me forever.
So Paulette, I mean, how did you keep it together?
I know somebody got to keep it together. I think I broke one time when we were in Fayetteville, and Paulette clunked across the stage, running across the stage, but it sounded like a big clunk.
Yeah, it did.
Clunk. And I just couldn't do nothing but laugh as soon as I got to where I was going, and then the audience went crazy too because I was laughing. So
does it take a minute?
Very hard not to break character.
Does it take a minute to get back? Like when you get into that laughter and you got to get back on, does it take a minute or you all just kind of, hey, laugh it through and keep it going?
Kenya, you should answer that question.
Garrett sits up there and he talks to the audience and tells them, you get yourself back together before I'll not pay you or anything. So, and I burst out even worse. I mean, it's funny. Right. And it's just, I mean, the time where Paulette, when she was doing some kind of little thing and her foot got caught on the couch and she went down on that floor. When I tell you I had to get up out of my seat and go behind the couch because I couldn't breathe. And it took me forever just to even come back and say my line because I'm just so tickled. We don't know. We've come out on stage with our clothes backwards sometimes, or we don't know, and we sitting on the couch trying to nudge people to get lipstick or off their teeth and just different things like that.
Well, actually, all that sounds like is a really good time. So it doesn't sound like work at all, but I am so glad I had a chance to bring you all on and hopefully I'll be able to bring you back. But I wanted you all to tell us, it doesn't matter who, and I don't know if Garrett's still there, but tell us where we can find more information about what's going on with the plays and everything so we can keep in touch and keep, we want to tune in when it's ready because he said November. So we want to make sure that we tune in and find out where to find all your good stuff that's coming.
So you can go to gdavisproductions.net. That's the home site. And then, excuse me, each play will have their own website, but the home site is gdavisproductions.net. You'll be updated on all things concerning our films and everything else.
And they can also follow the ladies on Facebook or your social media and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's going on. So thank you all so much for coming on here. Before we go, I wanted to always have a little luncheon with Lisa moment because I always explain to people that, you know, back in my day, you know, based on my age, luncheon did not mean that I'm going to feed you and give you something to eat. I'm not feeding anybody on the show. That's not what luncheon means. Luncheon means tripping. Y'all tripping about something. So I have a luncheon with Lisa moment. And what I kind of developed for my I had a book that I released last year called The Power of Shut Up. And I have a lot of fun with it. It's a powerful message. But I created a mug because I thought that everybody's on Zoom meetings and StreamYard and everything meeting all the time. It's a lot of people saying a lot of things. And sometimes you just like, okay, this conversation has gone on way too long. People are lunching. So I created this mug, and let me see if I can show you all. And it says, "Shh, I'm thinking before I speak."
Yeah, Paulette would look at that and she would go, you don't know how to spell shh.
And I can see that. And that was my funny for, people just not knowing, okay,
I like
it's
that
better than not saying anything. So, and before we go, I want to ask you all, is there anything going on? I know that this COVID situation is really rough on everybody, but any kind of luncheon moments you have had when you're looking at somebody and saying, y'all are really tripping? Y'all had any moments like that in the last week or month? Because I see a whole bunch of stuff going on. Paulette, they ain't even had one on screen with you.
I'm sorry.
With you lunching, y'all ain't had any moments on screen or when y'all are rehearsing where, besides the regular, I guess everything is so normal for you all with the luncheon, huh?
Yeah, we were rehearsing on Zoom one night, and we were laughing so hard because Paulette was doing her hair.
Oh God.
And the way she was doing her hair, we were sitting there like, what is she doing? So we do have those moments and then she starts, and then while she's doing her character, her head is flipping and flipping, and we just laughing so hard because we tried to rehearse and she just gone. I mean, that's just LaTanya, though.
Well, I think that's why you struggle with the luncheon moments, because they're just kind of normal moments for you all. So there's no luncheon,
Yeah.
being us. So I thank you all so much. I want to remind everybody, thank you for tuning in. And you can actually come and check out Lunchin with Lisa every Thursday, 7 to 8. We go live on Facebook and on YouTube. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to bring you back when everything is released. And of course, when we get out of this COVID situation and can actually see you all in person performing. So please keep me posted. I will post the things on Lunchin with Lisa. And again, I appreciate you all coming on. This has been so much fun. I missed all of that. So it kind of gave me a little boost so I can get ready for November, because November's right around the corner. So I'm excited.
We are too.
Thank y'all so much.
No problem.
You. So I want you, Garrett, to make sure that you with the Daddy's Boys, is that already showing?
That starts the Thursday after Labor Day. You can go to gdavisproductions.net and get all the information on that as well.
Okay, so that's getting ready to start right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some things we can pull out our mugs and our popcorn.
And as Paulette would say, the next time you write on a mug, make sure you don't keep your finger on the H too long.
Does that sound like you, Paulette?
Yeah.
She can't even deny it, right? And we lost Dion, but tell him thank you so much for coming on.
Okay.
We appreciate having him, because I hadn't met Dion, the boyfriend, on stage. So I'm kind of excited. And real quick before we leave, so what is his background?
Character-wise, he works at a radio station.
Okay.
And he's very funny, and he wants to get baby girl to marry him, but of course he got 4 sisters he got to go through, and a mama now. So he always trying. He always ends up in a situation where he's getting in trouble with the sisters that sets him back.
I can imagine. And I'm so sorry we couldn't get Samantha. So we'll have you back definitely so we can get her on. But like you all said, y'all kind of updated me that she always has these technical problems.
Yeah.
So
She'll probably be on
normal.
as soon as we go off. She'll come on. And she'll preach a sermon.
Right?
She'll preach a sermon.
Yes, she will.
So y'all are gonna get it. You know that, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much, and I hope that you all stay connected.
All right. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
And
You
stay
too.
safe.